Ladies and gentlemen,
What are your qualifications?
boys and girls,
And he said, I'm afraid. I used to smoke, but I gave it up because someone told me that it would take 10 years off your life.
now is the time where
And it keeps getting funnier every single time.
myself and Jim are going to speak.
And so the homeowner, he jumps up and he grabs one of the rocks and he
Not again.
there's a it's a walkout. Yeah, right. It's a walkout basement.
Every Friday night.
I hate this neighborhood so much.
Ta-da-da!
Wow. It's been a while.
How come you had 3 weeks? Why don't we have a new...
So I was thinking the exact same thing
3 weeks,
while
man.
that was playing. Is like, why didn't I come up with a new one? That's our second one. I can't go with a third one already.
Yeah, it's true.
So
But
we'll have this one for the season 2. That is our season 2 intro, and then when season 3 comes, then we
it
will.
gives me something to complain about.
Exactly, Jim. It's been a new year.
Dude, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
But we saw each other...
We saw each other on Christmas Eve. but
No, Christmas. We went to a movie.
you did go see Uncut Gems on Christmas. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
And we got to talk about that, but we could do that later. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's funny because, yeah, we've been away, but we still have the family obligations. And
Definitely.
I didn't freak out at the party.
Yeah,
and
you seemed really good.
I'm-
But you were
I'm-
also busy editing your video.
Yeah, I got a thing. It's very therapeutic because
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird thing because it sat for so long, and then all the crap that happened, if anyone knows anything about that, and then all of a sudden now I got it back and I got my baby back and and I'm like, it's very therapeutic to fix something that I should have done years ago, but now it's gonna be done. And I actually brought someone in today for the sole reason to pick his brain on my.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I invited this person.
The hobo?
Yeah, his mic's not on yet because we haven't given him.
Yeah, well, he's just some hobo sitting over there. He looks over there with a gnarly beard. He says he's been on the show before. I don't believe him.
He's requested to come back many times and has been denied many times.
He's just out at the front door like,
Hey, let me in.
hello, I'm with those guys.
No, we're joking, obviously, but it's our friend. One of the few that we've welcomed back multiple times.
Yeah. And he gets plugs on the show too.
All the
super
time.
fan.
He's on the level of Steve, and that is.
You know who doesn't get enough credit, but Steve doesn't get to do what he does if it's not for Caitlin.
Elaborate.
His wife, she's always liking, like, all the time whenever I post anything, and I'm all like, oh, let's see how Brady deals with this one. And I always know it's okay because if I get a love from her, because she'll always do something.
Oh, okay.
But if it's a like, it was like, all right. But if I get a love from her, then I'm all like, gold. That's
You
how
nailed
I know,
it.
I know it's a good post.
Okay. Well, on that note, our friend of the show.
What was your name again?
His name.
Your name.
What's your name?
What's your name?
I don't even know. At this point.
Michael.
Michael
Michael
Merrell.
something.
Michael
Merrell.
Merrell?
Yeah, that sounds right. Merrell.
Michael Merrell.
Michael Myers.
I don't even know.
Man, you were looking like a hobo.
I know. It's actually
Looking warm. That's what you're
Looking warm.
Yeah.
this is the second time I've done this where I'm working on another short film that we're shooting in February. And
You look like
I'm always a little worried that the actor is going to drop out.
Did you hear his whistle? Did you hear his whistle on the S?
I know, right?
I did that earlier already today. I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
you look like Cousin Billy on a redneck
Right?
Trailer Park Brothers show.
Yeah, well, I've had a few
Need
too
some
many short
change?
films where the actor drops out at the last minute, and so
I'm
this
ready.
is the second time that I've grown a beard where I'm like, just in case I can step in if I
Neither
have
of us
to.
can grow beards.
Yeah,
but,
so more power to you.
This is 6
Yeah.
months.
Right? Well, this is probably about the same.
So
It's not great.
So you doing that's on. I was gonna say. So what are you working on? What's new?
Yeah. So
Those of you who don't know, Michael Merrell is a local filmmaker, writer, director, porn star.
a little bit,
Okay.
only
Yeah.
anonymously.
the classy,
anonymously.
the classy ones.
Yeah, just the classy stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been working on a new short film that we're doing. Where, like I said, we're shooting in February.
Can you elaborate on what it's, or are you gonna keep it
Yeah,
on
I mean,
wraps?
no, this not under wraps.
We got other stuff we can talk about.
I know, right? No, you're good. Yeah, so this is I guess you could say it's post-apocalyptic. It's really every once in a while, it seems like most years, actually, I go through this phase where the first half of the year I spend trying to set up larger projects that don't work out.
Right.
And so then towards the end of the year, I'm like, well, I have to do something
do
or I'm going to go
something.
nuts. And so we just throw
I have
something
nothing
together.
to show for myself.
Yeah,
It's like
and-
us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so right.
This is all we do.
Just throw it
End
together.
of the year, I'm like, I paid my bills.
Yeah, exactly. So this was
Yay.
one last year I spent a lot of time kind of working more as a producer than anything else,
Okay.
setting up,
hard.
setting things in motion.
It's really hard because
Yeah.
everyone's got an idea. Everyone wants to contribute.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thinks that they know what's best, and it's just like the short film that I had you watch. And it's like I get this feedback because I'm at the point I need more eyes on it because I've seen it so many times. But everybody thinks they know everything. And it's like, well, you've been hired to just PA, so go ahead and
Right. Yeah.
just hang out for a second. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I've been I've been doing right out of high school. I started doing like script consulting and script doctoring and stuff like that, just to earn like a little bit of money from college students here and there.
Right.
And then
You come
that,
with like a what are
The big money pot college
right,
students.
exactly.
What's the little device that doctors now I've ruined it because if I would have known it's called a stethoscope.
A stethoscope.
This you can hear the
The
heartbeat.
heartbeat?
You know,
Yeah, I
is
just
that-
stick
is
a
that-
stethoscope on a script. You know,
you're
yeah.
doing that to college students.
Right? Yeah.
Hungry college students.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Jerk.
absolutely
You're
robbing
already
them. No,
really
but it's a lot of just
wringing
like
that
sitting
dry.
down and kind of working through, kind of looking at it in a fresh perspective a lot of the time. That's why people bring you in, and then as soon as you give them that perspective, they're not quite, as open to it as you want. So it helps a lot when you kind of start with, asking them what their goals for the project are and really making them feel like you're on their side.
You know what I've been getting
know?
a lot of advice about lately?
Yeah.
How to make my podcast better
Oh, yeah.
by people who never had a podcast, never been on a podcast.
Yeah.
You guys should do this.
Yeah, and they're like, this one guy, he blew up and he went. I'm like, no, we have fun, just the two of us. It's fine if nobody listens.
We have a
grandma
new
will listen.
a new format too.
Yeah,
So a little bit different from what we kind of started with.
Growing up.
It's still gonna have the heart of like we still want to highlight people that come in as if they're working on something, but obviously
just
everyone
not giving you the whole show anymore.
yeah
Right.
Like, give you a half hour, but also we want to be able to have people that aren't necessarily working on things to
No,
feel
that's good.
feel on
Pop
just
in, come
join
in.
and come and have conversations.
I
so.
Yeah.
met actual fans of the show.
That's awesome.
Yes, I want to talk about this. You texted me this, and I didn't believe you.
I was floored. I feel like if they're listening, I apologize. I don't remember their names, but I was at a Christmas party for one of the local agencies. I was there with Emily. It was her agent, and I was just trying to stay on the side and hang out. Jeff Johnson was there, and Krampus was there, and like so much other stuff. And then all of a sudden, like
Krampus, like the
Krampus, yeah, the
the evil-
horn,
the evil-
yeah, so
okay.
Santa and Krampus, who
Okay.
was actually with. Why can't I? Oh, he's gonna kill me. Luckily, he doesn't listen to the show. The guy that does the Krampus, good dude. Anyways, I was just sitting there minding my own business, trying to eat a sandwich and stay out of everyone's. It's not my party. I'm just trying to hang out. And it's, hey Jim, these guys want to meet you. I'm like,
what?
they're all like, they're big fans of the show. I'm like, what show? Like, your podcast, dude. Can they come over and say hi? And I'm all like, well, which one are they Brady's friends? They're like, no. And I didn't know them. I never met them. They never met you. And they were like geeked out. They were like we absolutely love what you're doing with the
That's
show.
so cool.
And I didn't know what to say. I was just like, thank you for listening. I had
really
nothing,
great.
like, because I'm real good, but
On the air and
yeah, but like
performing.
you actually like put me in with real people that are actually being sincere, and I'm like, oh, this isn't the time to say something. Thank you for listening.
That's so cool.
So now they're gonna go home and go, yeah, that Jim guy, he's full of crap.
He's a weirdo. No, that's awesome. I honestly did not. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and when I was telling that story to another friend of the show, Chelsea Goodwin,
Mhm.
and she's like, Jim, you guys are very relevant in the local scene. Everybody knows who you are now. And I was just like, I'm like, what? I'm all like, then how come only grandma listens?
It's like the only ones we talked to. Speaking, oh my heavens, I can't believe I forgot. And I brought it up with Jim, but I also forgot. We have a giveaway today.
Oh,
A
nice.
giveaway.
Very nice.
We have a giveaway.
You're going to pay our taxes.
Exactly. So, from the kindness of my heart, there's a movie of last year that I loved very much, and I have And the way we're going to do this, you will, if you listen to this podcast, if you share it on Facebook, if you share it on Instagram and tag on the Movie Hour Instagram, we'll pick one of you.
How's that spelled? I know I always
at the Movie Hour. It's just at the Movie Hour. And if you do that, and I will pick one person randomly.
How bummed is that other show that has less episodes than us now started before us, and now there was another.
I didn't notice.
Yeah,
there was another one.
Yeah, if you pull it up, there is another one, but we have.
Oh, you mean the other Movie
the
Hour?
other movie.
Yeah,
How bummed
okay,
are they?
Yeah, I remember
Freaking
running
jerks.
They have 1 stars on iTunes.
Oh God.
That's how bad they were.
We crushed their product.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you guys have been killing it.
No, so if you share it on Facebook and just have your friends, tell you why you listen, why you like us, and then if you also want to share
Or
it on
don't
Instagram,
like us.
or why you don't like
How
us,
we can
you don't-
improve.
You like give us your
Talk
critiques.
about my bad attitude.
Well, we'll give you. I have in my possession a digital code to won the Angry Birds 2.
Oh,
I knew it. As soon as you
Oh,
said a movie
jeez.
I loved last year, I was like,
I'm like waiting for it because I've been cleaning up a lot of stuff at my place, and I have all these DVDs that I have nothing to do with them anymore because everything's going digital, and so I have like some really, really good DVDs that I'm all like, and Blu-rays that I'm all like I have John C. Reilly autographed Boogie Nights and Hard 8. I have like I got some, and I'm all like, I can't just put these in a box.
Yeah.
Like I should give these away to someone that would like them, that could use some, maybe not my autographed.
Yeah, I was like, John C. Reilly seems like a pretty good one to keep.
Yeah, that one I'll keep. But there's some other ones that I got that I should probably bring them in and just let you watch them first, and then we should just give them away.
Well, and also we're gonna try doing more giveaways, fan interaction stuff. We have a whole box full of T-shirts that we're just gonna start giving away to fans. So
you gave some away to the family party.
Yeah, I without you asking you.
I don't.
But
no, that's not gonna. I'm so mad at you. How dare you?
You're right. I gave
dare you.
Aunt Mimi. She won the shirts. So
Her name's Marge.
Her and Jerry have their own matching
They asked,
the Movie Hour shirts
because they're the ones that will actually take my advice and watch some of my shows, and they're all like Killing of a Sacred Deer, and they're like, "How dare you!"
And
so I get a text from Jerry. He's like, "So what'd you think of the Two Popes?" And I'm all like,
you watched the Two Popes?
I haven't yet.
He did though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I'm all like, yeah, that's on the Judy and the
way down this.
Yeah.
I have a lot of other things
Yeah,
to cross off my list before.
I'm getting closer to it too. Like
Wow.
I'm down to where I'm gonna have to start watching. I'm
the
not,
Judys of the world.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I'll be keep an eye, and then next week make sure to tune in again, and then I will unveil who the person is. Obviously, it's a digital code, so I can just text it to you on social media.
He's smart. He's gonna get some numbers, and he's all like, "Well, hey, she's cute. Let me get her a little Angry Birds.
get her some Angry Birds.
What's going on there?
That's usually how I get the ladies.
The ladies
with Angry Birds. It's usually a good winner. No, so yeah, I'm excited that. Season 2, like this is season 2 of the Movie Hour.
And you've seen that, you can call it that, but until we get to year 1, we're
very close.
Getting to it quick.
About 2 months away.
We'll be back to one year. Then I like to say season 2, but you can do whatever you want. You're the boss man. I just come in and just grateful to have a warm seat and some porridge to eat.
We're good. We're glad to be back again, and
a lot kicked us out. The door, the access doors, they still let us in. Man.
A lot of stuff happened. Award season's in full swing.
Yeah,
Oscars is Monday. Our nominations,
because this goes right into that. We went and watched Uncut Gems together.
Yep, on Christmas.
And I know from your reaction, you were very, because they just invoke panic, and that's not a normal thing for like people are like, what do you mean? Is it horror? Is it? I'm like, no, they invoke panic, and they're like, that doesn't. I'm like, yeah, nobody else does what they do. They do stories about terrible people and make you. As Tamby's having a full blown panic attack next to you.
Tamby, my sister,
and
Michael.
he's sitting there and he's all like, well, what do you think? And he's all like, oh, it's very Tammy's having a panic attack. I told her to leave, but she wants us. And then everybody else that was in the theater with us thought they were going to see like Happy Gilmore on Christmas. And so they roll in at the 9:30 showing of Uncut Gems, and they were so pissed.
Yeah. Have you seen Uncut Gems yet?
Not yet, but I've heard a lot, and I am not surprised that they were not happy about that.
So without, because I'm going to talk about that later when we talk about the things and why it should have been nominated, in my opinion. But it didn't end up on your top of, and it got my number one. But
it ended number 10 for me.
it was in the
top 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
'Cause it seemed
switched
like-
it to from Ford vs. Ferrari.
even if you didn't like it, it definitely invoked. That's why I like it so much. Because
Yep.
even if it's not something that you're like, I like that movie. It's when's the last time a show gave someone a panic attack?
Yeah. Well, and I people have I have this argument with my friend all the time. Who she watches something and it makes her feel sad, so she hates the movie. And I was like, no, I don't think that
To make someone hate something, in my opinion,
like a bad movie is different from like if you hate something
Yeah.
like people like it's like, oh, that's my least favorite movie of all time. I was like, why is it? Because it made me sad.
That's my argument with the Star Wars. When people say it's garbage, I'm like, was it poorly written? Was it poorly lit? Did the actors not act? Did it have sound issues? Like, what makes it a bad film exactly?
Yeah. So Uncut Gems is another one. It's like people like it made me feel uncomfortable, and I was like, I think that's the whole point. Is that they wanted you to feel like like a gambler, like that whole last like
he made
25
such poor
minutes.
choices.
That last, but he kind of figures it out at the end. And those last 25 minutes where a lot of things are happening, and you're just like hoping
You're in it with him.
Yeah, you're
and you're
right
a sports fan, so you know the outcome of that game.
Yeah. And you're just like, but still, you're just like, oh, all the like minutia things, like, oh, did he get this? Did he get this? And then. Did his girlfriend actually like place the bet correctly?
Right.
Like
that, did she do it right? Yeah, there's so many. And so he's sitting next to me just doing this, and I'm
breathing like.
Yeah, this is like my third time seeing it, so I was able to, but I was still like couldn't sit still. I love what they do. And then I got Uncle Nate because it's the same thing. I'm like, well, we're gonna watch
with us. Yep.
Yeah, so he liked it. He didn't love it, but that's just Nate. And so I said, well, let's watch Good Time. So I went over to his house, and made him watch Good Time, and I thought for sure he'd go. Because Robert Pattinson, he said the same thing. He's like, nope, I don't care. I'm not watching The Twilight, dude. I'm like, just watch it. And then when it was over, he's like, I think I like that one better.
Wow. Good Time, it might be better just because I like there's not a part of, like, I enjoy Robert Pattinson's character just because I want him to get his brother out.
Well, and Benny Safdie, who's one of the directors, is playing that character who he's not like that in real life. And for him to play, like, the dude's got acting chops.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, you know who the brother was? I'm like, no, that's one of the directors.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's who his brother that he's helping along. That's Benny Safdie.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
And he kills it.
Yeah.
With the end where he's just walking back and forth in the room with all the other,
special needs kids,
and he's found a place, and that was the director.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. So we had that, and then some time went on. We all saw Star Wars, obviously. And we'll talk about Star Wars eventually. But what we're really here to talk about is what happened on Sunday. Golden Globes.
Are you a Ricky Gervais fan over there, Michael?
I watched his monologue.
But are you a Ricky Gervais fan? Because people
really
love him or hate him.
Yeah, he's really hit and miss for me. Where like even down to that monologue he gave, like one line I'd love, and then the next day was like, "That's the dumbest joke." Like it's not even. It was so shallow.
Fair enough.
But it's the same with his films. Like what's the one about the liar? The Invention of Lying.
Yeah,
is an incredible.
I
love it.
Have you seen his TV series Afterlife that he was talking about?
Yeah, that one I did not enjoy as much.
See, and I love that.
Yeah,
I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah.
And his joke about DiCaprio.
Yes,
his date was too old for him by the time the movie was over.
Well, I gotta say, like I didn't. I was working and wasn't able to watch the whole thing, but I did see the only two things I watched were Tom Hanks's speech and Ricky Gervais's opener.
Yeah.
And I saw the opener first.
And Joaquin Phoenix's. His unedited version of him just blasting everyone for. I'm like, come on, Joaquin, like you're still. You're a pampered little princess too.
Yeah, but I love the way that Gervais kind of ended that with like, "Look, you guys aren't, I
get
love,
up here, get your award, thank your parents."
I'm one of those people who defends a lot of things about Hollywood that normally people wouldn't defend, but like I, just because I love movies so much, but that is one thing that I do have to agree with, where it's like, look, this thing is so long already. Yeah. Please just get it over.
It was
like,
so
and
long,
there is
hours.
a certain I mean, not to get too heavy, but there is a certain amount of hypocrisy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So there is a lot.
As we go through this, I want to challenge both of you. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I think it's something that we should do more of. So if you're going to say like this one should have won instead of, or I didn't understand, I didn't see this, or I also think this person should have been nominated, but you can't just say this person deserved a nomination. Okay, then which of the people that you're looking at,
Yeah,
which
take out.
one are you taking out?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can't just say Adam Sandler needed to be nominated. You have
Yep.
to say, okay, then look at the list, who gets out.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Works for me.
how you want to do it, boss?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, we'll start. I'll start on this list and just kind of work our way down, or we'll work our way up actually to the better ones. Let's start with best supporting actress.
Best supporting act. You gonna do a song with me? We talked about it. We rehearsed.
You
We
totally missed that.
best supporting
Yeah.
actress.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep right now, so
It's a real shame.
I missed my cue.
Be
I
better.
was thinking you'd drop it later. You know,
Okay.
See, and this is what I don't like about the Golden Globes is they split it up between the musical or comedy or the drama. So which
But
one?
the supporting actress is just one category.
Just musical or comedy?
No, it's just
Yeah, it's
one.
in
It's
all
just
films.
all.
I'm looking at it right here. It says
It's
musical or comedy.
best supporting actress. It's Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell.
Oh, in a
and-
motion picture musical. So okay, so they're all together.
So Annette Bening, The Report, to Laura Dern, who ended up winning Marriage Story, Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell.
Oh, you're best supporting?
Yeah, this is best supporting actress.
Oh, I'm looking at best performance.
Yes, that's why.
I gotta keep going down. Laura Dern in Marriage Story, which Marriage Story is still it's still playing at home. Like they're still monologuing. Like
You really don't like this
I
movie.
did not like it. Well, the whole fact that Adam Driver was better in The Report, and The Report was about him reading emails, and I found it more interesting him reading emails.
Mm-hmm. So I like the complexity of the Marriage Story,
And-
of them trying to because they still love each other, but they're
Yeah.
trying to tell themselves that
Well,
they don't.
Scarlett Johansson was better in Jojo Rabbit, and
Mhm.
so here they are, both got nominated for Marriage Story when they had. You could have still nominated both of them.
yeah. I have to say, you may not have liked the movie, but I've loved watching your and Chaz's
Yeah.
interactions about it.
Because he loves it so much.
Yeah, because I fall right in the middle on it, where like I think that movie really relies on your experience
Yeah.
with relationships.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And so that was one where I really
I love arguing with people too because I'll take the other side of it just because it
Just for fun.
bothers people because it's like if we all like the same stuff, then there would be no discussion.
Mhm.
So for someone to say this is right, that's wrong, this is good, that's bad, like you can have an opinion, but you can't
Oh, yeah.
you can't tell me that this movie was terrible if it's getting the love that it's getting. So it's obviously a good movie, and so my own defense when I'm going like with the Star Wars and stuff like that, I'm like, was it poorly written? Was it poorly acted? Was it is it a bad movie because you don't like it doesn't make it a bad movie?
Yeah.
So I mean, in my own argument
Yeah.
is thrown back in my face. I just didn't like it.
I don't know if any of you have seen any of the other. I saw Richard Jewell, so I know Kathy Bates.
I saw The Report,
Okay,
and Annette Bening was awesome.
okay.
I haven't seen Hustlers, haven't seen Bombshell, and Richard Jewell is on my
Yeah.
like the short list.
So I think that it comes down to Laura Dern and Jennifer Lopez, but I'm pretty sure everyone's kind of at this point saying that Laura Dern's going to run away with this. So I don't know if you want to.
No, I have no argument with
argument
it. I
with
mean,
I'm not surprised by it at all.
Yeah, I mean, Laura Dern is kind of a award season darling.
and I
Yeah,
didn't,
she
and I
really
didn't
is.
see Hustlers to give this criticism to Jennifer Lopez, but I have a feeling that her performance was thus of
Lady
hey,
Gaga.
that didn't know Lady Gaga actually I think threw down, but I think it wasn't a wonderful film, but I think she can act. But I
Yeah.
think Jennifer Lopez was more like, oh, okay, that wasn't terrible.
Okay,
Mhm.
Oh, wow, Jennifer Lopez. Okay, all right,
I
that
want to
wasn't
see.
terrible.
I want to see Hustlers because
I'll see it. Yeah, it'll be on HBO in a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the next one that I saw coming.
No
that-
replacements. No one else that got.
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
making sure. Sometimes
I will say I haven't seen Bombshell
Yeah.
yet, but I've seen a lot of like the promotional
that's one of
stuff
those
and
ones
the behind the scenes and
What is
some
it
of the
about?
clips.
It's like I don't know nothing about.
So
it.
it's about the
Fox.
Roger Ailes Fox like sexual harassment and all that.
Yeah.
Like coming out public, and so
I still don't.
Margot
I don't know.
Robbie is
I don't-
playing Kellyanne,
still-
or not Margot Robbie.
I still have no idea what any of those people you're just talking
well,
about.
Fox News and all their upper corporate
Okay.
staff, bunch of stuff coming to light with the Me Too
A
movement.
very bad guy,
Yeah, not a great guy.
Allegedly.
purportedly.
But yeah, so
See Weinstein coming into court on in the walker. Did you see those
No, I didn't.
shots? Yeah, he's finally going to court over
Okay.
some of this stuff, and he's coming into court with a help of a walker. Come on, dude.
But continue, Michael.
Sorry.
No,
I'm just-
all I was going to say was that I think that while I haven't seen it yet from what I have seen as far as like clips and promotional stuff, I want to give Margot Robbie the benefit of the doubt because that looks like just a really
awful
difficult,
thing. Yeah.
awful just role to play
Did you
as an actor, and she is so amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see her work in what is it? The short one, where the one that she did the comic. It's like the talking right to the camera, and it's the guy that normally does the Will Ferrell movies.
The Judd Apatow.
No, the other guy. Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Oh well.
Yeah,
sure.
but that's when I saw, and she was the best. And she's sitting in a bathtub with a glass of champagne, and she's just talking to the camera about the housing market.
Uh-huh.
And she's,
oh god, yeah, I know what movie you're talking about.
And she's
I'm
like,
blanking.
and in her speech, she's like, "I'm in this bathtub because this is the only way you're going to listen to all this boring crap." Now, now that you've heard it and you've gotten
The Big Short.
The Big
That's what it
Short.
was called.
Oh, okay.
Big Short.
I didn't see The Big Short.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've
and
heard great
she was
things.
so good in it. And,
she's
so
she's
self-aware.
always phenomenal, and I think that especially with like Suicide Squad and stuff recently, most of the talk around her has been about that.
Speaking of which, we'll get back to it, and I'll let you
Yeah.
finish. We have a
He's so diplomatic. I love it.
we have a
Jim, you're cutting off the guest. Jim.
we are going to a pre-screening of Birds of Prey in February.
Boom.
Okay, go.
In.
Oh, nice, very nice. Yeah, no, that's all I was going to say was just that I think
I
that I really want to see Bombshell just for that reason, and I like.
She's
I
gorgeous,
really
but
Love Laura Dern,
substance,
but
substance,
in
substance.
Marriage Story, like while she did a great
What
job,
does she do in that?
she's the divorce lawyer,
Yeah, she's the
and she
lawyer.
does
Oh,
an amazing
she's
job
her-
at making
okay,
you
see?
hate her.
I totally
Like,
forgot. I didn't even.
You know, and honestly, I thought she was she was good in it too. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I thought Kathy Bates was better, but that,
Yeah.
Alan Alda was my favorite character in.
I thought he was great.
in
He was
Marriage Story. He was my
fantastic.
favorite character, and then the only part that I really thought actually happened was believable was that knife thing that they do.
Where he was,
Yeah,
when he cut
yeah,
himself.
The whole,
Mhm.
they set it up, and then when he finally did it, it was like that really happened to somebody. So, all right, let's move on to what are you doing?
Let's do Best Supporting Actor, which
Yes.
is such a interesting like category just because of the names involved and who ended up winning. Right? You got Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes,
You got Joe Pesci.
my friend. He lets me call him Tony, by the way.
Okay.
I did a movie with him. I did a scene with Anthony Hopkins. He said, "Please call me Tony."
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
World's fastest Indian.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
know that.
And I was like, okay.
Tom Hanks,
Boo.
Al Pacino, and then you got Brad Pitt coming away with the award.
He was really good.
He's great.
He was really, really good.
I'd totally be on
and
board
and
with
that's
that.
like the one, even like, because I love Once Upon a Time, but a lot of people like it's too long, it was boring, I didn't get it, and they didn't understand the whole Sharon Tate thing.
Yep.
But everyone when it comes back, but I really liked what Brad Pitt did.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
And
Who, by the way, was terrible in Ad Astra.
yeah, I was on the camp that he was going for a double nomination year, but Ad Astra kind of fell on its face.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Joe Pesci is probably the only other person in here that would be like, okay, like give him an opportunity. And a person that I was like really on the camp of early in the season that I didn't get nominated for this award was Rocket Man, supporting
See,
actor.
and we're going to get to that. We're coming up to. We're going to talk about Rocket Man and why is it even in this? It's because it's a musical. Other than that,
Well, I've always
and
felt that like
he did do a good job.
I've
but
always,
come
I
on.
mean, like you said, I've always hated that they combine these. But if you're going to combine them, it does not make sense to me that you combine musical with comedy.
Yeah.
Musical,
No.
if it goes with anything, it
Comedy's
should
harder.
be with drama.
comedy is harder
Yeah.
than drama.
Well, and 90% of movie musicals are dramas. Like they're not.
Well, last year
comedies.
Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't even nominated for comedy. It was
Yeah.
a drama. It was a drama instead of musical.
I am doing my first
Yeah.
substitution.
Okay.
I would, and it's a robbery that Zach Gottsagen was not nominated in this category for
Who?
his job in Peanut Butter.
Oh,
Falcon.
Zach.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
He was so good in that movie, and I would have replaced him hands down easily with my boy who I love, Tom Hanks, because Tom Hanks' performance is Mr. Rogers was one note and it came off super creepy, and it just bothered
You
him.
just think that Tom Hanks is a creepy person.
No, I love Tom Hanks. I will
Well,
watch
not Tom Hanks. Fred Rogers.
What? Is anyone that happy?
He is.
I think so. Yeah, I'm totally on the
But you
opposite
see-
fence. I loved.
I
really
did enjoy
enjoyed it, and I would have swapped.
Could
Like
you-
I like
Could you
two
see
popes, but
could
I
you
would have
see him
swapped Anthony
burying
Hopkins.
people?
Me too.
Did you see him killing the neighborhood kids and burying them?
No,
underneath-
I did
No.
not. We're not that dark. We're not that dark, Jim.
I also grew up on
So-
Mr. Rogers, so it's a lot harder for me to
That's
be
who
like, that's
and
it.
that kid killed it, and
That's fair.
above all else, what he's
Yeah.
done, that he deserved at least.
It's a real
nomination.
shame that Peanut Butter Falcon is really getting shafted in all
It
this.
really is. And
Yeah.
now Honey, and I know I want to see Honey,
Honey
Boy,
Boy.
but that, I just watched it again, Peanut Butter Falcon again because
I've seen it 3 times.
because I bought it, and
Yeah,
I'm
so do
watching,
I.
I'm like, this movie's so good.
Yeah, I bought it too for Christmas. It was great.
And
with,
the
with
first
Grandma's.
10 minutes of Jojo Rabbit. Have you seen it yet?
No,
Oh my
I'm waiting for it to come out on the either
I won't
Oscar
ruin the movie for you.
train or when it comes out.
I won't ruin the movie for you, but the first 10 minutes of Hitler and the boy talking about giving me a Heil Hitler, and he's like, Heil Hitler, no, really, Heil Hitler, and they're like, Heil Hitler, and it's like,
Well,
how do
that
you
was
know?
actually going to be my substitution. It was like
Yeah.
I
How
would
do
love
you-
to see Taika Waititi. Like he
Oh,
was
Oh,
so
yeah,
good in
as-
that.
yeah.
And
Okay,
as
that's a
Hitler,
good-
like I
that's
know
a
it's
good one.
like
Dude,
he
there
was so good though.
How
He
could
was
you make
so-
that? How if you didn't?
Yeah.
If anyone else would have made that movie, it would have come off wrong because you'd even tell people those jokes, and you're like, that doesn't sound right. I'm like, yeah, but you gotta look, it worked.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
his delivery is just—it's always on point. Where it's
Little
like
kid
there's
drops an
still a little
F-bomb.
men
Yeah.
like, and he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't.
We're
I
gonna-
mean, not whitewash,
we'll
but he
get there.
doesn't like tone down
We'll
Hitler
get,
at all.
we'll get
you
there.
know?
Let's keep
Yeah.
moving.
The one
along.
the one award, and
He's
it's
great.
this next one that I think I had the most pride in watching was Best Actress Comedy Musical. It was Emma Thompson for Late Night,
Yeah.
Beanie Feldstein
Did you
for
see any of
Booksmart.
those? I've seen most of these
Booksmart,
movies.
I've seen.
Late Night I saw. Knives
Kate,
Out I saw.
Kate Blanchett, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, didn't see that.
Yeah, but it's
Ana de
Kate.
Armas.
I have an idea what it looked
Knives
like.
Out. And to be honest, these other 4 actresses, they have no chance to make it into Best Actress in the Oscars, so it was clear who was going to win. But yeah, Awkwafina winning for The Farewell, I was really happy for.
Okay, so I have
This whole category was just
I
amazing.
have I have to tell you something.
Okay,
So the overrated Asians, right?
Crazy Rich Asians.
crazy overrated Asians, right? They do this, and you kept telling me Awkwafina, she's the one of them in the movie, and I'm the whole time, and then I see this new movie with The Farewell, and I'm like, that don't even look like the same girl. I'm like, what are you talking about? And you're like, yeah, I know that they dressed her up. So the lead in Crazy Rich Asians is who I was looking at, which
Yeah.
isn't Awkwafina.
No,
she
yeah.
plays the friend.
Yeah, she's the
so
friend.
the whole time I'm going, it doesn't even look like the same person, and I didn't know that you were talking about the buddy.
No, the friend.
Who? Yeah, she was all right.
Yeah, she's my favorite part of
Yeah,
Crazy Rich Asians.
she was all right. Yeah, her and Kim Jong Il.
Yeah.
Not Kim Jong Il.
Yeah, I love how when Kim Jong Un gets into his acting when he comes away from North
in
Korea.
the interview. But yeah, she did do
Kim
well.
Jong is
Yeah,
who you were
like I said,
talking
I had to watch that one. I had to watch that one twice.
But yeah,
But Ana Armas was.
Yeah,
Knives
she's
Out.
so good.
She was really, really good.
Yeah.
And Beanie Feldstein was also
Yep,
in.
I agree too.
Booksmart was
Yeah.
2 really young actresses there.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on this?
I don't know about any substitutions or anything. I really liked all of these picks. The only one that I don't know I love Kate Blanchett, but I had not seen Where'd You Go, Bernadette, or heard anything about it.
Depends what you consider a comedy.
not just a diaper anymore.
Because if you remember back when it came out, Get Out was in the comedy musical Best Picture.
Yeah.
So if is Get Out the same way, or is Us the same?
I think I want to talk Nopita
Because
Yes,
she
I was
got
going to put her in.
jousted. Yeah.
like, is it a drama or is it a
The
comedy
I was going to
musical?
say,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I was,
Because the only reason I bring it up
just
is
for her
because
performance, I was
is
going to
Get
say
Out.
it.
Get Out was comedy. In the
Yeah.
Golden Globes, Get Out was nominated
Well,
for comedy.
And then, Nopita, you can't tell me she wasn't one of the 5 best actresses
Oh, yeah.
this year.
Yeah, performances this year.
Yeah, I don't care, actress.
Yeah.
She killed that part. If you haven't seen Us, which is
Yeah.
better than Get Out, she kills it. But it's the same reason why with the next one with the best performance by an actor, musical or comedy, everyone was saying, why didn't Adam Sandler get nominated?
Mm-hmm.
Because they decided that Uncut Gems was a drama, not a comedy.
Okay.
And so then if you look at the list of the male drama, it's a much
lot
tighter
tighter,
than
yeah.
if it would have been categorized as a musical.
Let's transition to Best Comedy Musical then. It's so we got Eddie
So
Murphy.
you can't use Adam in this category.
Yeah. So kind of going back to Lupita real fast. So if it's a comedy, I think that she deserves to be in this category, and she probably would win, in my opinion. But Best Actor Comedy Musical is Daniel Craig for Knives Out.
He was awesome.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Roman Griffin Davis for Jojo Rabbit.
Awesome.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He's always solid. Leo's always solid.
Eddie Murphy for Dolomite Is My Name.
He was hilarious.
And Taron Egerton for Rocket Man.
He was really good.
He was.
He was really good.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
it's not a good movie.
You know, it's funny because I know who's going to win Best Musical in 2021.
Yeah.
What's his name? Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan, because
Okay.
they have a track record here.
Well, and he didn't. The movie when I kept saying why, because I've seen it and I'm like, okay, and I almost watched it again and I'm like, why do I just hate this movie? It goes back, I just don't like Elton John
Musicals.
songs.
Oh,
No, it's not
okay.
even the
No.
musical thing. Like some musicals I can get past.
Yeah.
And this one I actually liked. Taron was really good.
Yep.
I just don't like Elton John songs. Like nobody ever goes, hey man, you got that deep cut, Elton John.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
You got his
His
hits.
music-
He sold a bunch of albums, and I don't like any of them.
His music's kind of
Yeah,
it's just there.
and I think that's my problems. I just don't give a crap about Elton.
That's fair.
And this one, Roman Griffin Davis should have won.
See, I was on the camp of Eddie Murphy should have won.
Well, and Eddie's kind of a feel good story right now.
Yeah.
and he did really good in Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
So I can see that, but I don't know. You haven't seen Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
The kid, he isn't just. He's tiny. What is he? 10 years old?
Maybe.
He's like 10.
Yeah.
And he holds his own with, like, he is that movie. He is Jojo Rabbit, and he is so good in it. I can't believe you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to come over and just sit down with you.
Well,
and,
the
like,
only
hit
reason why I
play.
have it is because I go to that AMC theater by Grandma's house, and it hasn't played there yet. And
I think it comes out Tuesday digitally.
yeah, so I'm just waiting for it digitally, and I'll buy it and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I would replace Taron with Roman Griffin
For the
Davis
win.
For the
Okay.
win.
I really like Daniel Craig in this.
He was
so
really
good.
He was,
I would
yeah.
want him to
Great-
win.
was
but
he a
great fun
lead?
character.
Was he a lead?
Yeah, there was an
I
ensemble
don't-
cast. I think.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
the
so.
same
I
thing
think it was
happened to Leo.
ensemble, so he can't.
He definitely has a lot in the movie. Like he's
He was
more
the star of the show.
Yeah,
like
he was.
he
stole
it
the
for-
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just same thing with Leo. You tell me Leo was the star of Once Upon a Time because
Is he the lead over Brad Pitt?
he's sitting next to Brad Pitt in every scene.
Yeah, I mean,
and everyone likes Brad Pitt more. But that
Like-
scene with him, the little girl, then when they're sitting talking to
that's
each
a
other,
really
and then
good
when he
one.
actually goes in to do the acting part of it, like that's
then
that part
him-
right there is some serious. He did some serious heavy acting.
him in the trailer is a good one.
Yeah,
and,
when he's
and then the payoff, and
You're-
this is
your has been.
yeah, exactly. And then we're talking the movie, and we'll get there, Benj. But like the payoff for the flamethrower, it's very good. And
This
I
thing's
think
really hot. Can you?
I'd say one
And people didn't know anything
substitution-
about. Nobody knows anything about Sharon Tate, and so they're all like, they have no idea what he did to that story. Why it's so fascinating. They're like, why is she even in it? And I'm like, well, do you know it's a huge Hollywood story, and he was very creative in how he retold it. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you don't know who Sharon Tate is, it's probably about 45 minutes too long.
Yeah.
So
All right,
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
for sure.
What's up? What's
Oh,
up?
I mean, it was mostly a joke, but I was going to say Ian McKellen in Cats.
Oh, shut up.
Because he
All
was
right, you
the-
can leave
Oh
now.
my god!
Can you believe it got
It
snubbed?
is so terrible. It is like
I
one of the
refuse to
worst
see
things
it.
I've
Do you hear
ever
what-
watched in
do you
my
hear
life.
They're actually getting a little cult following from people that are just taking a whole bunch of acid
Oh
and
yeah.
mushrooms.
Well, they're doing
and
like
going in and
loud.
watching
They're
it.
doing the rowdy screenings where people go in and just get to like sing along and get really drunk and like. The
They
reason I
release
say
their
this is
director's
Ian
cut. They
McKellen,
release their
like-
extra content like 3 days into their run.
Yeah, exactly. But Ian McKellen is like the one person who
Yeah.
I watch that and I'm not
No.
completely creeped out, and I'm like, you actually know what movie you're
sent
in
the
because
hobo
it's
in?
so
No,
bonkers.
we're moving on.
All right.
Do we even want to discuss Best Actress Drama?
Well, the best actor drama only because actress.
Actress Drama.
Yeah, because it's Renee Zellweger.
Yeah,
it doesn't
she's-
matter.
She's gonna win
and
this.
Scarlett Johansson was better in JoJo. I've already said.
Yeah. So would you
Um,
replace Scarlett Johansson for Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson?
Johansson. Yeah, but at the end of it, and I haven't even seen it yet, but I'm going to. I'm like I hit play, and then I'm all like, I'm not watching this. Like maybe I'll go see it
Harriet?
with mom.
Or the woman?
The Judy. Like
Okay,
I'm like,
Judy,
I think
okay.
I'll go watch it with grandma.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Tambi's under the impression that Little Women's the best movie of the year, so she loves Little Women. So
and I don't know anything about that
Yeah,
one either.
I haven't seen it yet. I was going to, but I kind of
Right.
bailed on it.
And so the best actor,
Drama.
this is the
Yeah.
hard one because again, and I'm not going to use my replacement. Adam Driver should have been nominated for. He got nominated for the wrong movie.
Mhm.
But I haven't seen Two Popes and I haven't seen Pain and Glory, but I have seen Joker with Joaquin. I've seen Ford Ferrari with Christian Bale, and Adam Sandler deserves a spot. And I feel bad because I don't know what Jonathan Pryce and I don't know what Antonio Banderas did, so I try not to. I'm not going to replace it with one of them because I don't know, and I already gave Adam. So I honestly. Christian Bale was good in Ford versus Ferrari, but he wasn't. I've seen him better. It wasn't anything that stood out. That whole movie was just kind of like good movie, but it wasn't a main gold where I was like, oh, he crushed it. It was a solid movie, but not.
I agree. I saw it
the
yesterday.
best.
I saw it again yesterday.
Yeah, it's
so
good. It's a good
fine.
movie.
Yeah.
But what part? Like when we just talked about all that stuff, even with Leo, what part of Christian's performance could you go that part?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. There's nothing really kind of saying. Another person that I'd like to kind of throw out there for a substitution is Richard Jewell, the guy that plays.
Yeah, that dude.
Oh, dang it! It's gonna bug me.
Yeah, we're so bad at this. We do our homework so good.
Yeah.
Real good. And then
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, and then I'm all like, who is Richard? When he told me who Richard Jewell was, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that he does look like that dude.
Yeah, right.
That's perfect.
He was very good. Him, and honestly, going to dialing it back to Best Actor real fast.
Joaquin deserved it.
Well, yeah. Well, before I'm gonna throw in a sub.
Fine.
I feel like Shia LaBeouf should be in Best Actor. Actor,
I haven't
comedy,
seen
musical.
one of them, but I agree.
Whoever that replaced, I would have been fine if it was, and he won. I would be fine if it was Shia in there for Taron Egerton.
Yeah, I don't think Taron deserved to be in there, but you look at the list and I can see why he won because he did kill it.
Yeah.
Just in a crappy Elton John movie. But I hear you and I love Shia LaBeouf and I love
everyone that I've told to watch it ends up loving
Shia
it.
LaBeouf.
They say it's my favorite movie of the year.
Quiet. You guys seen that the whole dance music sequence for Shia LaBeouf? You guys seen that yet? Where they do this whole both of you right now. Anyone who's listening, you want to have a fun time. The Shia LaBeouf song, and you'll recognize the guy who's dictating it. But it's a full-on musical dance and everything. And then when the whole thing's over, there's a total payoff. But put it in your phones now, and you'll call me later and go, dude, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
All right.
It's so good, and it's a song about Shia LaBeouf.
And
I've been shy surprised.
I think Joaquin's gonna.
I'm glad he got clean because it's in the same
year
that I've been getting clean.
Yeah.
So I believe in a second chance. He's always been talented. Yes, he's crazy. Yes, he's done a lot of stupid stuff, but some of it's not his fault. And I've talked about it before. I think he gets a bad rep. I do think he's a really, really good artist, and he killed it this year. I agree.
Yep. Joaquin Phoenix, I think that it's I was wondering if Adam was going to sneak in there and win that. I think Joaquin's got this kind of.
Dude, I don't even just when I watched it again recently, and I'm like, dude, I want to punch him in his face.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah. He's so just gets in my skin. That's why I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's why he did it.
Yep. Any questions there, Michael?
No, I don't think so. Like I would agree that I think Joaquin
he killed it.
Yeah.
And I think the director, we'll get there in a second. The director, I think, got a movie that he didn't deserve. I don't think he.
Yeah,
I don't think
agree.
it had much to do with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
I really don't.
No, I
just
agree
his
with that.
interviews and the stuff that he talks about. I'm like, I don't think he understood what he made.
Well, let's move on to that right now. Best director, Sam Mendes, upset in this one. He tops Bong Joon-ho in Parasite. I think that was kind of the unanimous, or not unanimous, but most people's favorite to win this. Todd Phillips, The Joker, Martin Scorsese, The Irishman, or Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And do we have any subs?
Yes, easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Todd Phillips out. The Safdie brothers in.
Okay. You put
The
Safdie.
Safdie brothers are getting no love from anyone, and they have their own style, their own. I can't talk enough about how much I love these guys, and I've gone back and watched most of their old. They make documentaries.
Yep.
They make. I love what they're doing, and they're doing something on their own. That's what I love this time. I mean, there's so many good young filmmakers right now, like Watiti, and like you go through the the guys that made The Lobster, and you go through like there's so many really good Ex Machina, and like so many good filmmakers right now. Todd Phillips, he made a really great film. Despite he didn't even know what he made.
Yeah.
And the Safdie brothers know exactly what they're making.
Yeah.
And they deserved a spot.
Michael, do you have a sub? I got one.
Have you seen High Life?
High Life.
Yeah, that's with
I'm blanking.
Pattinson.
I think it's like Claire Denis. I'm blanking on her her name,
and it's on my list. Everyone keeps
But,
saying
yeah,
best of,
High
and
Life
I've tried to
was
start
really
it like 3
amazing.
times, and I get through like 15 minutes, and
It's a it's.
Do I need to finish it?
I liked it. It's one of those where you're either gonna like it or you're
Yeah.
not. It's very much like The Lobster in that way, where it's like you're
I
either
know,
on
yeah.
board or you're not. And I was really on board for it, and I think that she
I love
has made a lot
Edith.
of good movies, and I think that this one like at least deserved to be
and
nominated.
and it's
Yeah.
one of those I've tried
Yeah.
to watch, and I'm like Robert Pattinson now, and I'm like, oh, just them in a room that looks like it's cheaply built, and they're supposed to be on a spaceship, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And that's when I
Yeah, and for same person, I'd swap him for Todd Phillips.
I think Todd Phillips, I'd swap it for. I haven't seen it yet, but Greta Gerwig or for Little Women or
Right.
Lulu Wang for The Farewell.
any of them, like there's so many.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde for
like,
Booksmart.
Booksmart, yeah, like
Yeah.
we've talked about that before. I'm all like, and even if all you're doing is just to throw it a bone, just like the year that all of a sudden you can't nominate anybody that's Caucasian because you're a racist, and it's like, okay, well, like, hold on, let's take a step back. Don't just nominate. But there's many females that should be nominated. Like one best female director in 40 years, and it was Barbara Streisand. You kidding me?
So, but yeah, so I think I would do. I really like The Farewell. I think I'd put Lulu Wang in there. So she did a really good job with that one. Best Picture Comedy Musical. Dolomite Is My Name.
Yeah.
Knives Out. Jojo Rabbit. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Rocket Man.
How about Netflix just getting the snub?
Right. Well, here's the thing: Dolomite is, but
They got nominated.
I know, and I know
winning.
exactly why. It's because I think that they're putting all their money into both categories. Like they're putting both of them in The Irishman
Right.
and
We talked
Marriage
about that
Story.
too. Yeah, that's
And
something you actually brought that up like probably very eloquently put by my co-host over here. He brought that up a while ago.
Yeah,
like
saying
they're
that-
putting their eggs in too many baskets. You said the same thing about DiCaprio and Brad Pitt because they were going to put them both.
Christian
in.
Bale and
and Matt
and-
Damon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you thought that would be a problem too.
yeah. So I think that Netflix is going to shoot themselves in the foot because they have too many things that going on. You saw it got swept in everything. It didn't win a thing in this, and except for Laura Dern, obviously.
Yeah.
But still.
But
it's-
this category is easy. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won.
Yeah,
and
it was-
that's one of those where I love the movie. I can understand why people don't because it's Quentin Tarantino. People don't even know who Sharon Tate is, but I found it very engaging, and I don't have any problem watching it through.
How would you rank this list?
Well, there's two that I think are very low at the bottom. I think Jojo Rabbit, Knives Out, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. My personal favorite, I would put Jojo Rabbit, Knives Out, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
That would be my 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then I would put Dolomite at a far 4, and Rocket Man
Even lower?
way 5. And I got a bunch of movies in musical or drama that I would have picked over Rocket Man or Dolomite, like The Art of Self-Defense,
Booksmart.
Booksmart. I have. There's a bunch of movies that this year that I was like, my top 5, everyone's like, oh, I haven't even heard any of these movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's a bunch of them that
You know, a movie that most
Oh, yeah.
people aren't talking about, and and I kind of want to bring it up because it won't get nominated, but Long Shot was so good.
And I watched the first half of that on your recommendation.
Yeah, right. It's such.
I didn't finish it.
But you did not like it, or just
I don't like Charlize Theron.
Okay.
Because I know people that have worked with her.
Yeah.
And she's not a good person.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the people that have worked with her
Are the wrong
But
ones?
Glenn Morshower is a good friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
and he's a very positive person. And his interaction, I probably shouldn't have said, but he says that he says that it is next mile thing.
Uh-huh.
He brings it up all the time. Like, and I'm a big fan. Like, if you're a jackhole, eventually it's going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
And she's a very good actress, but I don't like watching her. I really don't, because she's a terrible person. And
you need to get to the end because there's a thing that happens in it. It's just ridiculous.
I'll finish it. All right. And I do like Seth Rogen. So.
But okay. Any subs?
I don't. So this may have hit the festival run the previous year, and I didn't watch last year's Oscars or anything, so I don't know if this was in the nomination. But Always Be My Maybe did come out this year.
Yes. Oh, that's a Netflix. You're right.
Yeah,
It's a
and
good one.
I love that movie.
Always Be My Maybe?
Yes, I love
It's
that
a
movie
rom-com
so
on
much.
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Starring Sam. Oh heavens! Continue talking.
You're okay because
We're so good at it.
I'm blanking on the name
You've
too.
been
Right?
Ali Wong and Randall Park. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
Randall Park. But yeah, I loved that movie, and it's something that normally is very much outside of the type of movies that I watch and enjoy, but just loved it so much.
Because I
thought it
can't
was
put
so
Uncut
good.
Gems in because it was a drama, but I would put Peanut Butter Falcon in this category.
Yeah, yeah.
I think The Lighthouse, even though it was made by a horror director, and most people, it was. If you haven't seen Lighthouse,
Technically, horror.
it's
like,
hilarious.
I think horror goes underneath
but it's
comedy
hilarious.
musical
Watching these-
umbrella.
watch the two of them go crazy, and it's funny show.
Oh, yeah.
I would put the Lighthouse, the Art of Self Defense, all of them I would have put on over Dolomite or Rocket Man. Easy.
Okay. And then let's excuse me. Move on to Best Picture Drama. Yeah, and this is the last category, obviously. 1917 coming away with a big upset. The Irishman.
How's it an upset though?
Of the ones that were
Really? 'Cause
favored to win.
You called it. And
No,
that's,
I did. I thought I called Marriage Story, or I called.
no, that was way back. You
Okay,
called
maybe-
Marriage Story,
oh, maybe
but
I did.
In your recent, right before the Golden Globes, you posted who you thought was going to win on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you put 1917.
I thought I did The Irishman. Either way,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I don't see that
The
as-
Irishman, Joker, The Two Popes, and Marriage Story.
an art house one shot blow 'em up plane
World War One. Yeah.
Well,
this was-
underdog.
Yeah, this has been on my list of like I wanted.
Yeah,
I was so glad when it won because I was like I haven't even seen it
Yeah.
yet, obviously, but like just the technical achievement.
It's not
and
better than Midway.
the early stuff that the early reviews that I've heard from it is not
Yeah.
only is it just technically
Yeah, but it's supposed to be
mind blowing,
really good. Yeah.
like just as a
Yeah,
character.
That's why I
piece,
don't
it's
understand
incredible.
why I keep hearing that. I keep hearing people say it was an upset. I'm like, what do you mean it was an upset? Apparently, it's a really, really good.
I think
movie.
I think they're saying it's an upset because just
Really good
nobody's seen it
director.
yet.
Yeah,
you
nobody's
know?
seen it, and The Irishman and Marriage Story has just kind of been all the talk.
Yeah.
You know?
But even though I haven't seen it, I feel fully confident saying that, like, yeah, I think 1917 will have deserved the win. I think just what they've accomplished.
Well, and on this
is
list,
incredible.
I haven't seen Two Popes, so I can't say anything. I've seen Irishman, and I've seen Joker, and I've seen Marriage Story. Both Joker and Marriage Story don't deserve to be on the best film.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, it's my opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's all these are our opinions. That's why that's why I love it when people are like, dude, why you even Brady's like, you always just tear things apart that I love. Well, make fun of my stupid 4-hour movies that nobody watches. Like I understand that I have a very other side of the story. I get it. But Joker, and I came out of your mouth that had problems. You said
Yeah.
Joker had problems.
I think Joker has problems.
It's a good movie, and it was a great thing. And I don't think he is the Joker. And I think Joaquin did really well. But overall, it's not a best picture kind of film. It's kind of
No,
dirty.
I think a lot of that rode off of Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
Like,
Joaquin.
I think kind of just
and
carried
it's
over the category.
And it's the Joker, but I don't think he's the Joker. And Marriage Story doesn't belong on here. Of course, I've been Uncut Gems all along. I put either one in there again, but it's just I don't understand. And that's the Golden Globes. And then the only thing worse than the Golden Globes splitting them up is when we get to Oscar, and it could be anything between 5 and 10.
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes 7, sometimes 9.
So we could be seeing all 5 of these,
Yeah.
all 10 of these movies
totally
again going up against each other.
Stupid.
But wow, that was we got probably have a
That's about right.
yeah, we've got about done.
Time to. We haven't given out movies for each other. to
I
watch
know
in
we
a long
haven't.
time.
It's been a while.
I got one though.
Okay, hit me.
So this is one of those movies that if you want to watch a movie and cry with
good, that's
with,
me.
with Jimmy, there are a few of them. La La Land always makes me cry
That's such a
because
good
it
one.
just proves that you can't have your ultimate love and your ultimate job. You got to
Okay.
pick one. It makes me cry. But Chef.
Chef's a good one
Yes.
too.
That is a really good
Chef is on Netflix right now. It's been a while since I've seen it, and it's been on the list. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that one, and I'm like, so I don't watch it again because I'm like, but it's if you have a kid or if you have a dad, if you have anything like that, every time I see it, I just think, me and my boy, go get a food truck, clean it. I don't know why. I don't know why. And Favreau, I'm not a huge Favreau fan.
Yeah,
but that one,
it's a good one.
Gets me in the feel goods.
I like both of those. So which one?
I'm doing The Chef.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and we're not gonna do La La Land.
La La Land
I'm just saying, if you want to cry with me, there's a couple others that make me cry. But
okay.
Yeah. Well,
I had it in my top. I had
like
it.
Real Steel makes me cry. Again, because
it's a movie.
father and a son and robots and.
Real Steel is such an underrated movie.
I'm telling you, that's a good movie.
With,
and it gets me, dude.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it's about him and again, it's the same line, him and his son, and trying to bond. And and it was right at the time I was going through my divorce, like kind of going through, and I'm like, just want to spend more time. And Real Steel is another one. Like, if you want to see a good movie that you shouldn't be a good movie, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was a solid watch. What to do? In honor of Sam Mendes. Or not Sam Mendes. I apologize. Oh my heavens! I'm losing my train of thought here. Is it Sam Mendes? Cinematography for
Roger Deakins.
Roger Deakins. In honor of Roger Deakins.
Roger Deakins. Who is that guy?
I'm gonna have us rewatch Blade Runner 2049.
That's perfect because I just watched the final cut of the first one like 3 days ago.
Okay, there you go.
Like, just finished it.
It's not like I was watching you or anything.
No, you creeper. And I had it, and this is going to be, I shouldn't even bring it up, but there was a movie that came out this year that had the director, and I was just clicking on, like, what else have they done? And I'm like, they've done nothing. And it was for a main movie. Now I can't remember which one I was looking up. Oh, man.
It's a real shame there, Jim.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible to talk, but I'm like, which one? And now on the way home, I'll go, and I was like, how come they've made nothing? And they're like, they made one of the big movies this year is made by nobodies, and I'm like, and now I can't remember, and it's bad.
While you think about that, everyone, fans of the show know that we've had a lot of cool guests, but I want everyone to tune in on Monday and really cheer on our boy Matthew Cherry as Hair Love is going up. It's on the short list to be nominated for Best Short in the Oscars. So, and I'm hoping maybe depending on what happens on Monday, I'll text him and see if we can get him back on Wednesday to talk about it again as he gears up for the Oscars, because I think that's going to be what an awesome opportunity for him. And we called it back in the. Like, if it gets nominated, we called it. Say, no, like, what are you gonna do? Like, if this whole thing
works out
and gets like on this Oscar train, and it'll be kind of fun to catch up with him.
This morning, I had a meeting because I'm gonna edit someone's project for them, and they brought their little niece with them. And one of the books they were reading was
Hair Love. Really? Oh, cool.
And I'm all like, hey.
I talked to the author of that.
He was cool.
So, yeah. So keep an eye out for that. Definitely be so excited for him if he gets that. But even though if he doesn't.
So what movie? What are you picking?
2049. Blade Runner 2049.
Okay. How did I miss that?
Yeah.
I don't listen to you. I just don't listen to you.
Yeah, it's fair.
See? It's fair.
But this is...
you got anything you want us to watch over there, Film Nerd?
Yeah, Michael.
This is going to be another one where you like or you don't. That's but I just rewatched Risk Cutters, A Love Story. Don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's a low budget indie from a while ago it's about this guy who his girlfriend leaves him, and so he kills himself. And he goes into this like limbo where you go if you die because you don't get into heaven. And he's convinced he doesn't belong there, and so they have to go find God to like pitch their reason for why they shouldn't be in this hell limbo place. It's so weird, and I love it.
Have you seen Messiah yet? On
Netflix? I started it and then got called into work and had to leave, so I need to finish it still.
Yeah, that's one of those that and I know we don't talk TV, but that's the Messiah is very interesting.
Watch The Witcher yet?
Oh yeah, I watched that.
That was good.
I don't like the Game of Thrones references. Everyone, it's not a Game of Thrones, and it's his grunting, and I don't think it's an awesome series. I think it's a really good series, but I'm not like I was more excited about Lost in Space season 2 than I was
Okay.
Witcher.
See, and
That's why
that's-
I've only
that's-
gotten
you're
2
not
hours
familiar-
of sleep.
Yeah, and that's the cheesiest. Have you seen Lost in Space?
I couldn't watch the first season.
Yeah, it's terrible,
It
and
wasn't very good.
but I'm stuck on it, and they literally give you like a life lesson in every
Yeah,
single
no,
scene.
I'm in the same boat where I'm like, this isn't good, but I'm just like, I'm still watching. I couldn't sleep last night, and so I was like, I didn't finish the first season, so I should go back and do that. And so
right.
I finished all of season 1 and like started the first 2 episodes of season 2.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Let's get out of
Let's
here.
get- it's
So,
too late.
no Lion King.
No Lion King.
What time do we start? We are. What? How long are we at? We go over an hour again?
Maybe.
We're like right at
Right,
it.
right,
yeah,
right.
we're,
I'm
we're
keeping
right
us-
at or just
See,
under,
he
I
keeps
think.
me in shit,
keeping
but I'm
track.
like, come on, pal, don't let him get you. So is Mondays when they do the Oscars?
Yep, Oscar nominations is
Good.
Monday.
That's something
Monday
we can
morning.
nerd out about. Just making sure we didn't miss anything on the snubs or anything. But I think we did. Out of all the shows that we've done this year, I'm gonna have to put this one. Even though we had a hobo as a guest,
It's one of the best.
I'm gonna say this is one of the best.
Starting the new year off right. We took the 3 weeks break to kind of rejuvenate ourselves.
Right. And then I guess this Rami show is the new show I'm supposed to be
on
watching.
Hulu.
And then the other one that the girl does, that I've seen like 2 episodes that it keeps winning for the other show that's on.
Oh, you mean Fleabag?
Fleabag, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've
I'm
heard.
like, there's-
I've heard many good
that's what
things.
I keep
I
hearing.
feel like, from what I've understood, it's really strange and weird.
She
so
breaks
I
the
feel
fourth
like,
wall and
I
makes you
feel
a
like
character.
you will love this, Jim.
I've seen Fleabag. I've seen 2 episodes. of it,
Okay.
but I didn't like. I mean, I haven't watched it in months. so-
Okay.
But
All right.
anyways, I love you a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, Michael.
Definitely.
Thanks for having
Thanks
me on.
for.
Thanks for
Anyone-
having
thank-
us, Michael.
Yeah. Well, he brings us into his heart,
That's true.
and
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have fans
Every day.
now.
Yep.
Like fans.
So-
And thank you, Steve. Steve gave a really good post on one of my when I quit my job and I was frustrated, and Steve gave me a really good one. And,
You watched Peanut Butter Falcon?
well, he just told me, he says, you know what, I'm really proud of you, and I like that through all of this you still stuck to your guns and you speak your heart. And he goes, and that's really admirable. And I'm like, well, you didn't have to say that, Steve. And
I told him to.
Sheesh.
I say, hey, Steve, Jim really needs to pick me
I
up.
don't need to pick me up.
Will you-
Now I got to go talk about my film with Michael over here, and he's just going to rip it up and tell me how terrible it is and how your uncle's a terrible actor. So let's get out of here.
All right, see you guys.